no one expected it. The lights dimmed at Incheon Stadium. The crowd was already roaring for Jin's final encore. And then, like lightning cutting through the dark, Jungkook and Jimin appeared on stage. The audience froze for half a second before an explosive wave of screams, sobs, and disbelief flooded the arena. It wasn't part of the schedule, it wasn't teased online, and yet it happened. A sudden BTS reunion that turned a solo concert into one of the most emotional nights in K-pop history. For years, fans have dreamed of a moment like this, a reunion that would bridge the gap left by the group's hiatus and military service. And on this unexpected night, that dream materialized in the most human, unfiltered way possible. Jin, Jungkook, and Jimin stood side by side, the spotlight catching the raw emotion in their eyes. They weren't just performing, they were reconnecting. Every movement, every look between them seemed to carry the weight of years apart and the bond that time could never sever. The eruption of emotions inside the stadium was beyond description. Fans screamed until their voices broke. Some were seen crying uncontrollably, clutching their BTS banners as if anchoring themselves to a memory they thought they'd lost. On social media, within seconds, BTS reunion and Jungkook and Jimin trended worldwide. Clips of the moment spread like wildfire, each frame capturing what millions had been waiting for: the warmth of genuine brotherhood returning to the stage. Jin, who had wrapped up his solo Run Seekjin tour with his final performance, appeared momentarily stunned when Jungkook and Jimin walked out. Yet, as the music paused and fans chanted their names, he opened his arms wide. Without hesitation, Jungkook ran toward him, followed by Jimin, and the three embraced tightly under the flashing lights. The crowd erupted again, not in chaos, but in shared relief. BTS was together again, even if only for a few minutes. That hug became the emotional centerpiece of the night, symbolizing not only reunion but resilience. Observers described the moment as spontaneous but perfectly timed, a reflection of BTS's deep synchronization even after years apart. Industry analysts have since noted that this unannounced appearance might mark the beginning of BTS's slow but certain return to collective activities. Whether planned by HYB or born from the members' personal decision, it delivered a shockwave that rippled through the global entertainment scene. During the short time they shared on stage, Jungkook and Jimin joined Jin in performing a portion of his solo song before transitioning into a nostalgic medley of BTS classics. The crowd sang along word for word, their voices blending into a collective echo that filled the entire stadium. It wasn't just a performance, it was a reaffirmation of connection, a message that BTS remains whole. No matter how much time has passed, the visual impact of the moment was equally unforgettable. Jungkook, dressed in a simple black jacket and ripped denim, looked visibly emotional, his voice trembling as he greeted fans. Jimin, with his signature soft tone, thanked the audience for waiting so long and loving us endlessly. Jin, ever the eldest brother, held the microphone close and said, "This is not goodbye. This is a promise." Those words sent another wave of tears through the crowd, echoing the unity that BTS has always stood for. As the concert drew to a close, the members stood together, hands intertwined, bowing deeply before the audience. Fireworks lit up the Incheon sky while the fans' light sticks shimmered in unison, creating a sea of purple that seemed to stretch endlessly. Many fans described it as a historical night, one that reignited hope for the group's full comeback after their military hiatus. In the hours that followed, global media outlets picked up the story, calling it the reunion that shook Incheon. Analysts pointed out how the event demonstrated not only BTS's enduring popularity, but also their unique ability to merge emotional intimacy with global spectacle. The authenticity of that moment, unscripted, unfiltered, and deeply human, reminded the world why BTS remains a cultural force beyond the boundaries of music. Whether it was a hint of a reunion tour or simply an act of brotherhood, the impact was undeniable. Fans left the stadium trembling, some still wiping tears, others smiling through disbelief. For millions watching online, it was proof that BTS's story isn't over. It's just entering another chapter, one built on loyalty, healing, and unbreakable connection. Incheon didn't just witness a concert. It witnessed a homecoming. A homecoming of voices, of friendships, and of a promise that even when silence falls between stages, the heartbeat of BTS never truly stops, said, "This is not goodbye. This is a promise." Those words lingered long after the music faded, echoing through the hearts of fans who had waited years for such a sight. Yet amid the euphoria, a question began to ripple through the online space. Was this reunion truly spontaneous, or was it a carefully orchestrated act designed to ignite emotion and attention? In the aftermath of the concert, social media platforms like TikTok, X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube overflowed with clips, theories, and speculations. Some users claimed that camera angles and lighting appeared too perfect for an unplanned moment. Others insisted it was genuine, pointing to the rawness in their expressions and the visible tears that couldn't possibly be rehearsed. But what if both are true? Could an authentic emotional event also serve as a strategic spectacle in an industry built on performance? This is where the line between reality and narrative blurs. In the entertainment world, where every second can be monetized, authenticity itself becomes a currency. Was this reunion a sincere gesture of brotherhood, or a masterstroke of media timing meant to remind the world of BTS's collective power? It's a question that cuts deeper than fandom. It touches the very nature of modern celebrity and how we consume emotion as entertainment. Fans must ask themselves, do we want this to be real so badly that we accept it without proof? The emotional power of BTS is undeniable. Their ability to unite millions transcends language and culture. Yet that same power also gives rise to potential manipulation, whether intentional or not. Every viral clip, every trending hashtag, feeds an ecosystem of attention, views, and profit. So, when a reunion like this happens, how do we separate truth from spectacle? Consider the evidence. Multiple fan accounts uploaded nearly identical footage, some claiming to be leaked, others clearly edited. A few posts suggested that HYB staff were seen positioning cameras moments before Jungkook and Jimin appeared, coincidence or coordination. Even the media coverage that followed was suspiciously synchronized across major outlets, as though press releases had been pre-prepared. But again, can we call that deceit, or simply good planning by a company that understands its audience's emotional rhythm? This uncertainty demands reflection. It's easy to be swept away by tears and nostalgia, but it's harder to stop and ask, what if what we're watching isn't exactly what it seems? Not because the feelings were fake, but because feelings can be guided. Emotional choreography is part of entertainment's DNA. That doesn't make it wrong. It makes it worth questioning. We invite every reader, every ARMY member, to think critically about this phenomenon. Ask yourself, when you cried during that reunion clip, were you responding to truth or to the story you wanted to believe? Is it possible that in our desire for connection, we sometimes mistake performance for sincerity? These are not accusations. They are reflections on how fandom and media shape one another in the digital age. It's important to clarify that much of the information circulating about this event originates from various online platforms: TikTok edits, YouTube shorts, Twitter threads, and unofficial fan pages. None of these can serve as definitive proof. Until official statements from the members or HYB confirm the details, the truth remains uncertain. And in that uncertainty, both beauty and danger coexist. The beauty of shared hope and the danger of misinformation dressed as miracle. Perhaps that's the real story here. Not whether the reunion was planned or spontaneous, but how it revealed the fragile trust between artists, fans, and the media. Every cheer, every tear, every viral clip reflects our collective longing for authenticity in an era defined by algorithms. Maybe the reunion was real, maybe it was not. But what's undeniable is its effect. It made millions feel something, and that feeling, whether manipulated or genuine, carries immense cultural weight.